This is AI5HP calling all ham operators. The time is 8 p.m. Central. All regular amateur traffic, please stand by because you're now listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. We're here every Thursday night on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club frequencies and the University Link repeater system. We will not have any scheduled pauses for emergency traffic, but we will yield the air to any breaking emergency. With that in mind, as we proceed, please leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. I am transmitting tonight from Buda, just south of Austin, Texas, using the 147.320 repeater. You can also reach us via Echolink by connecting to KA5DR. For All-Star access, use node 51444 or 40933. For more information regarding the club's repeater system, and how to become a member, please visit n50ak.org. You can also participate in this net using the University Link repeater system. For more information about the University Link repeater system, please visit ka5d.com. If you are listening through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 114.8 Hz. For the University Link repeater system, set your tone to 97.4 Hz. For club members, we also have our very own Thursday Night Net channel on Discord. So swing by and say hi to folks hanging out there during the net. My name is Aaron, AI5HP, and I'm your net controller for this evening. This is a controlled net. Stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment time. If you're a new ham or just new to the net, the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net is a social net, and we would very much appreciate your participation. We get together every week to share knowledge, ask questions, and hang out. It's very easy to check into this net. In just a bit, I'll ask for check-ins and take down a list of all stations who need to participate. Once we have everyone checked in, I'll go down the list one at a time and give you the floor. Feel free to ask questions pertaining to ham radio, tell us about something you've been working on, or just say hi. We just want to hear from you. In fact, tonight, I'd love to hear about your favorite Halloween candy. Just to get things going, I will reveal that mine is candy corn. So feel free to change my mind with a better option. And it's a good thing that I'm not in person, because I know a lot of you would be throwing things at me right now for admitting candy corn. If you missed the first round of check-ins, don't worry, we'll grab you on the subsequent round. Please avoid topics of politics, religion, or anything else potentially inflammatory. Please keep it clean, nice, and appropriate. It is time for station identification, and then I'll be opening the net for short-time check-ins. Please stand by. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. If you're just joining us through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system in which participate, be sure your tone to set your tone to 114.8 Hz. If you're using the University Link repeater system, please set your tone to 97.4 Hz. My name is Aaron, AI5HP, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. It is time for short-time check-ins. Short-time check-ins meant for operators who can't stay for the entire net. I will not take general comments for short-timers. If you just want to check in and have nothing to say, just specify no traffic when checking in. Again, no membership is required, and any licensed operator is welcome to check in. New hams are especially encouraged to check in, so if you're a new ham, we'd love to hear from you. If you do check in a short timer and later want to rejoin the net, please feel free to recheck. So if you're kind of busy, you still want to check in, go ahead and come with your name and call sign now.
This is November 5, Sierra, Mike, Oscar, Bill, North Austin, short time, no traffic.
This is Kilo India 6, Hotel Quebec Tango, Ken in South Austin, no traffic.
This is Kilo 5 Tango Mike Tango, no traffic.
This is Kilo India 5, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, Stephen and Kyle, no traffic. This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet, KG5 KVJ, down here in Buda.
This is David K9DWR in Plainfield, Illinois via Echolink.
This is Alpha Charlie 5 Golf, Philip in East Austin, no traffic.
Alright, so let me run through who I have so far. I've got N5SMO Bill with no traffic, KI6HQT Ken with no traffic, K5TMT with no traffic. I didn't catch your name, K5TMT, but I'll look it up. KI5WLF Stephen, and I will be checking in with Stephen momentarily. KG5 KVJ, that's Garrett. I will check in with Garrett in a little bit. K9DWR, I've got David down. And AC5G Philip with no traffic was the last one that I copied. Any more short timers want to check in, please come now.
This is Kilo Fox 5 Delta Papa X-ray, short time, no traffic.
Alright, I only had one more short time check-in. That was Kilo Foxtrot 5 Delta Papa X-ray with no traffic. So let me go back to the top of the order and we'll check in with folks. The first one with traffic is KI5WLF Stephen. Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Stephen. I'm somewhat new to hams. I've had my license for about a year and a half. I've checked into the net a couple times, but me and a couple of my buddies are getting into off-road trucks and thought that getting some ham radios in our trucks would be beneficial. We've heard on forums and other avenues that the GMRS frequencies on off-road trails typically get kind of full, so we thought, hey, let's get our licenses and set up nets on off-road trails. So good to check in, and that's it. That's all I have for traffic.
All right, Stephen. Well, welcome to the hobby. I too am also new. I just got my license in May, and somehow I got snookered into doing this. So I'm sure you'll get snuggered into things as well, especially if you've got your spouse also involved. So, welcome. Thank you for checking in. And, next up, we've got Garrett, KG5KVJ. Garrett, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Aaron. Hey, everybody else. Appreciate you running the net. It's KG5KVJ here. I know it's fantastic to hear you running stuff. I got a sleeping baby on my arm, so that's why I'm kind of short time. I appreciate y'all, being on here, and looking forward to probably doing a general check-in, hopefully later. KG5KVJ, back to net.
All right, Garrett. Well, thanks for checking in. And if we can hear from you again, that would be great. If not, well, baby has her needs, right? So, I'm definitely a victim of peer pressure here, as I'm running the net tonight. And I do appreciate everybody going slow with y'all's call signs to check in, because this is new to me. I've got a mechanical pencil and a pad. There's no way I was going to figure out some software inside of a day. Next, we've got David, K9DWR. David, I think you're coming at us from a distance. Go right ahead and welcome to the net.
Yeah, good evening. That is correct. I'm up here about 50 miles outside of Chicago. I'm actually hopping on because my cousin is down in that area, and we've been going back and forth quite a bit. So I figured I'd hop on here and check out what things sound like and let them hear what I sound like over the radio. Back to you.
All right, David. Well, I appreciate you checking in nonetheless, and you sound great. So, thanks. Thanks for coming in, especially distance. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. After David, I had a couple of no traffics, AC5G Phillip and KF5 Delta TX. So let me give one more chance for short timers to check in. This is AI5HP running the N508K net, Thursday night net. So if you do want to check in as a short timer, here's your second chance to do so. All right, well, nothing heard. Thanks, everybody, for checking in so far. I appreciate it. This is how we keep things cool and interesting. Let me just do a station identification. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. If you're just joining us through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and wish to participate, be sure to set your tone to 114.8 Hertz. If you're using the University Link repeater system, be sure to set your tone to 97.4 Hertz. My name is Aaron. My call sign is AI5HP, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. You still haven't gotten to regular check-ins yet. The net is still young. At this time, we're going to review a question or two from the FCC's current general exam. If you have a technician license, this will give you a sample of what that test is about. If you've already passed your general exam, it's always a good thing to review the material. And tonight, I'm going to pass it over to Sam, AI5IR, for tonight's question. Sam, take it away.
Good evening, and it's time for a couple of questions. So as a reminder, I'll first take questions for technicians, but if we don't hear much, I'll open it up to everyone else. So tonight's first question is, what process combines two signals in a non-linear circuit or connection to produce unwanted spurious outputs? A. Intermodulation. B. Heterodyning. C. Detection. Or D. Roll-off. And at this time, I'll open up to any answers.
KI5YLS, I'm going to say Alpha A.
Alright, and if anyone else wishes to take a crack at it, your chance is now.
This is KVJ. I'm going to guess Bravo.
Alright. Congratulations to KI5YLS Cody. For the second question, which of the following are least reliable for long-distance communications during periods of low solar activity? A, 80 and 160 meters, B, 60 and 40 meters, C, 30 meters and 20 meters, or D, 15, 12, and 10 meters.
KI5YLS, I'm gonna go Bravo.
Alright, and if anyone else wants to take a guess?
This is KG5KVJ. I'm going to go with Alpha.
FIPZN, I'm going to go with Alpha 2.
Alright, unfortunately, we did not have any correct answers tonight, but the correct answer was D, 15, 12, and 10 meters. So those bands are going to be least reliable for long-distance communications during periods of low solar activity. And this has been AI5IR with tonight's questions. Back to net control.
Alright, thank you, Sam, for those ham exam questions. Really appreciate it. Let me do another station identification. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. We're every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. And if you're joining us through the Oak Hill Amateur Club repeater system and you want to participate, be sure your tone is set to 114.8 hertz. If you're actually coming in through the University Link repeater system, make sure you set that tone to 97.4 hertz. My name is Aaron, AI5HP, and I'm net controller for tonight's net. We're going to pass the mic now to Ray, K5BZI, for tonight's news.
Hey there, Aaron. Thanks for hosting a net tonight, doing a bang-up job. This is Ray, K5BZI, down here in South Austin, Texas. And I'd like to, at this point, hand the mic over to the XYL, Allie, who's going to do the news for us tonight. Take it away, Allie.
The Wayne Amateur Radio Club manned a 30-foot tall mobile observational infrastructure protection unit, or Skywatch Tower, at Ohio's Wayne County Fair in September again this year. Staffed by specially trained amateur radio volunteers, the tower provided 24-hour surveillance, monitoring, and a record of activity on the fairgrounds, including medical emergencies, lost children, and other situations where help may have been needed. Captain Doug Hunter, KE8JNH, Wayne County Sheriff's Office, stands next to the Skywatch Tower at the Wayne County Fair. Captain Doug Hunter, KE8JNH, on the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, was impressed with its performance. Quote, last year, I put in a request for the tower from the Ohio Department of Homeland Security, end quote, Hunter said. Quote, after seeing the benefit of having it, I immediately requested the unit for this year's fair, end quote. Positioned near the grandstand, the tower gave volunteers a bird's eye view of the midway that allows one person to see from the air what 4 or 5 people can see from the ground. The observation deck is equipped with state-of-the-art video equipment that provides situational awareness in places where there are large crowds in attendance. With an array of pan, tilt, and zoom cameras, the unit provides a 360-degree view of the fair's most vulnerable areas. It is climate controlled and is capable of being self-powered to ensure continuous operation. Eric Mast, W8ELM, a member of WARC, said that club members who have additional training, apart from their amateur radio licensing exams, take shifts monitoring the crowd. Quote, "Through our training, we understand how to communicate with law enforcement. We know what they need to hear. If we see a situation that needs their attention, our radio is connected directly to dispatch inside their command center on the fairgrounds. Once we're reported, we are out of the loop and law enforcement manages everything from that point," end quote. Captain Hunter added, "As long as this is available to us, we will take advantage of it. If we can utilize something that increases the safety of fairgoers, we will take advantage of that. WARC members donated more than 60 hours of their time, and we are very thankful for them." Amateur radio operators invited to participate in scientific experiments. The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, will be conducting their largest experiment and research campaign from October 19 to 28, 2022. Amateur radio operators are invited to listen and participate. The research will last for 10 days and include 13 experiments with transmissions taking place between 1400 to 0600 UTC daily. That is from 2 p.m. to 6. The transmission experiments include moon bounce, Jupiter bounce, HA ocean scatter, and ionosphere satellite interactions. Amateur radio operators are being asked to monitor the times of the transmissions and signal quality. Reports can be filed electronically, and a special QSL card will be sent for participation. This will be the most scientifically diverse campaign ever conducted at HAARP. Particularly notable experiments include a first-of-its-kind attempt to bounce the signal of Jupiter, investigation into possible causes of the Earth-glow phenomenon known as STEVE, strong thermal emission velocity enhancement, and testing the feasibility of using radio transmissions to measure the interiors of near-Earth asteroids. Quote, "The October research campaign is our largest and most diverse to date, with researchers and citizen scientists collaborating from across the globe," end quote, said HAARP Program Manager Jessica Matthews. The number of experiments is the highest so far under the 5-year, $9.3 million grant awarded last year by the National Science Foundation to establish the Subauroral Geophysical Observatory at HAARP. The observatory's purpose is to explore the Earth's upper atmosphere and geospace environment. An overview of all of the experiments can be found at the HAARP website. See the following document that Ray can send to everyone in a PDF format for a more detailed listing of the experiments and technical data. Participating amateur radio operators can request a QSL card and send reception reports to HAARP, P.O. Box 271, Gacona, Arkansas 99586. HAARP is a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere. Operation of the research facility was transferred from the U.S. Air Force to the University of Alaska Fairbanks on August 11, 2015, allowing HAARP to continue with exploration of ionospheric phenomenology via an land use cooperative research and development agreement.
For those
links and more information, go visit AARLnews.org, AARL.org/news, and that's it for the news. Back to Net Control. This is Kilowatt 5, Bravo, Zulu, India.
All right, thank you, Ray and Ollie, for the news. Let me go ahead and do one more station identification for everybody. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We're every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. If you're just joining us through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system in which to participate, be sure your tone is set to 114.8 Hertz. If you're using the University Link repeater system, set your tone to 97.4 Hertz. My name is Aaron, AI5HP, and I'm your net control for tonight's net. And now it's time for Fox News. Let's pass the mic to Jeffrey, KI5MVF, for our weekly Fox News update.
Good evening, everybody. KI5MVF here. We had a Fox hosted this past weekend by Sky, N5LX. It was up near the sports complex located near 51st Street and Guadalupe. There was a tiny little trail tucked in back there, and he had hidden his, what we all call Sky Fox. It is a Fox transmitter that he hangs usually about 20 feet up in the air on a tree branch down that trail, and it was a pretty good hunt. Congratulations is in order for WZ5CBS, Rusty, KI5PZN, Ernesto, along with Enrique and Carlos, KA5FZU, Paul, KI5MVF, Jeffrey, yours truly, and KE5RS, John. I think this might have been one of John's first hunts as well. I've not recalled seeing his name on any of the hunts in the past, so glad to have you participating and hanging out there doing some fox hunting, John. It is worth noting that this was our first fox hunt that had been tampered with because of Sky's Sky Fox being hung up in the air. He usually has another box hanging out down on the ground with the log book and a dummy antenna and whatever things other people leave behind. This time that box that was down on the ground had been rummaged through and tossed along the trail, off the trail, a little bit down the trail, by somebody that was presumably not a ham radio operator out there doing some fox hunting. Luckily, Sky and I bumped into each other out there while I was hunting, and he was going out to do some maintenance because he had heard of some trouble. And we were able to track down the box with Rusty's help and verify everything was in there. And then he just took that part of the box home. And everybody else that hunted just let him know they had found it. Currently, we don't have any other foxes on the schedule. I might decide and host one tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. The battery's not charged, but you should know we've got the N5OAK potluck coming up soon, and there will be 4 different foxes going there. So if you are interested in fox hunting and have never tried it before, this is going to be a great opportunity to get out there and get some practice in. I'll be out there with my gear and with probably an extra team of Yagi. So, if you're interested, I'd be happy to help you get set up with some gear. I'll even loan you a Baofeng, and you can have at it. Or you can walk around with me as I hunt the other 3 that I'm not hiding. If you have any questions regarding specifically fox hunting, I highly recommend you jump on our Discord server and find us in the Fox Hunt channel. And then in regards to the N5OAK potluck, believe Rusty's about to hop on here with his club announcements. He'll give you more details on that. And there's always information on the social meetups channel on Discord as well. This is KI5MVF. Jeffrey is sending it back to Net. Thanks for running the net tonight, Aaron.
All right, well, thank you, Jeffrey, for that Fox update. I think I will, personally, myself and Matt, KI5BND, will probably be looking for some Fox Hunt guidance at the potluck. So definitely appreciate that that offer for guidance for folks who are trying to get into it or are new to it. That would be a good opportunity for everybody. And now, like Jeffrey said, it's time to pass the mic to Rusty, WZ5BBS, our club president, with the N5OAK club and trivia announcements. Rusty.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. You're doing a great job for your first net. Yeah, so we got some trivia updates. We had the biggest trivia net we've ever had. We got 43 players in last week's trivia. Leslie, KI5NLC, came in at number 1, 1,830 points. Aaron, our net control for tonight, AI5HP, came in second place with 1,630 points. And Leonard, KI5NLC, came in third with 1,525 points. We got Dave, KI5STT. He made it all the way to round number 3 on the elimination round and beat out Steve, KG5LAA, who made it to round number 2. So I'm trying to make the elimination rounds a little easier so y'all can get further on. But the last couple of weeks, the first 3 questions have really gotten everybody got everybody out of the game. We got player rankings. Kent, KI5RBT, is still the man to beat with 131,875 points. Kent has played a whopping 61 games. But our biggest frequent flyer is Scott, KI5OVD. He's played the most games out of any of y'all. He's played 65 so far. And anybody can play. All you need is a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer. We got the bingo starting at 8:30, so you got something to do while you're hanging out waiting for the net to begin. I'll put all the details and a link in the Thursday night Discord channel. To check out player rankings, stats, net logs, or for any information about the Friday night Trivia Net, you can head over to n5oak.org and click on the Trivia Net tab. We also have some official club business on the way. We currently sit at 467 members. We got 4 new members since last Thursday. We got Laura, KI5OLG, Sean, KI5YNU, DC, KI5GKP, and Karsten, N5UWU. So if you see them in there on the Discord or on the repeater, make sure and say hi and welcome to the club. Our next club meeting isn't until January 21st, so we'll kind of skip over that. But for those of you that want to know, it's on the calendar on the website. But January will be the next meeting. The next thing that we have coming up is the N5OAK Park Potluck, and it's Saturday, November the 5th. The club is buying fried chicken and drinks and all that for the club. All you have to do is bring a side or a dessert or both. Like Jeffrey said, we got 4 fox hunts going on. Lance is bringing a station to set up, so we have a park on the air station. You will need to purchase day passes for the park, and again, all the details are on the web. We have a park potluck tab on the website, and go over there and RSVP so that we have enough food and drinks for everybody. I would certainly appreciate it. We've got a pretty good group coming so far, but if you would, go over to the web, click on the Park Potluck tab, and go RSVP for me and let me know how many people are coming. That way we can get a good idea of how much food to buy. We are currently waiting for Jeffrey to make up his mind on the fox hunt for the weekend. So if we get a fox hunt, that will be in the Fox Hunt channel. To see when the fox hunts are, to learn about fox hunts, and see all the fun fox hunt things that we do, we have a fox hunt page on the website as well. It's brand new. We've also got some photos in there to show you that. The DMR repeater also has nets every night, so if you have a DMR radio and you're looking for something to do, we've got something going on every night. Round tables, drag chews, sound check net. We got the RV net for Ray, because I know he listens to that every weekend. For all the schedules and all the details for all of our DMR nets, you can find that on n5oak.org. Just look at the weekly net tab. And of course, the easiest way to stay up to date is to subscribe to the official club calendar. You can head over to n5oak.org and click on the calendar tab to make that happen. We'll put all our nets, we'll put everything that's in the calendar. It will magically show up in your calendar. You won't have to do anything. For all the new members out there, if you forget what repeater or what time, is the easiest way to stay up to date. Every time I add something to the calendar, it will magically show up. So go do that. You can even add your birthday while you're over there. I think Rod was the last birthday that we had coming up. So that's all I've got for official club business and trivia update. Aaron, you're doing a bang-up job, man, on your first ever net. Thanks for signing up. I know it's a little nerve-wracking, but like I said, man, you're doing great. AI5HP, WZ5BBS, back to net control.
All right. Well, thank you, Rusty. Yeah, appreciate you calling me out here for the props, and I'm looking forward to that potluck. So, hey, you know what? It's time for, I forget who calls it that. I think Ray calls it the meat and potatoes part of the net. Is what's coming up next. So, let me pause for station identification. You are listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. If you're joining us through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and wish to participate, be sure you set your tone to 114.8 Hertz. Now, if you're using the University League repeater system, set your tone to 97.4 Hertz. My name is Aaron, AI5HP, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. It's now time for regular check-ins. Again, no membership is required, and any licensed operator is welcome to check in. New hams are especially encouraged to check in. So if you're a new ham, we'd love to hear from you. If you previously checked in tonight as a short timer but want to check in again, just specify that you're a recheck so I can log things appropriately. So, without further ado, if you're wanting to check in, please come now with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November. This is
Kilo Alpha 5, Delta, no traffic.
This is Kilo 5, Mike Whiskey Alpha, Mike and Oak Hill, and that's it, K5MW.
This is P5 November Delta Sierra Rod in North Central Austin.
This is Whiskey Zulu 5 Bravo Bravo Sierra Rusty, South Dallas.
This is Kilowatt India 5 Yankee Lima Sierra, Cody out of Killeen.
This is KI5 and OK, Anderson and Mansour.
This is Alpha India 5 India Romeo, Sam from Austin.
This is Kilo India 5 Romeo Bravo Tango Kent in Pflugerville, no traffic.
November 5 Alpha Foxtrot Charlie, East Austin, Jared.
All right. So let me run through the list real quick, and then we'll go through with everybody. So for round one of regular check-ins, I've got KI5PZN, Ernesto. I've got KA5D with no traffic. K5MWA, Mike. W5NDS, Rod. WZ5BBS, Rusty. KI5YLS, Cody. KI5NLK, Anderson. AI5IR, Sam. KI5RBT, Kent. And N5AFC, Garrett in South Austin. Alright, so if I miss you this time, we'll have a second round. So let's go to the top of the order. KI5PZN and Ernesto. Ernesto, how are you doing tonight? And what's your favorite candy?
This is KI5PZN here. Thanks for running the net, first of all, and you are doing an excellent job, man. Nobody would guess that this is your first net. I think the very last person that checked in wasn't Garrett. That was Jared. I think that's what I heard. I want to confirm after I'm done here. But yeah, man. Let's see. As far as candy goes, it's kind of hard to pick one. I don't like those candy corn that you mentioned. That's I'll probably try using that for bait for carp maybe. And even then they might not like it either, but chocolate, man. I'm into chocolate. That's the thing. And then I would say those tiny little sneakers, but you know that's like a new thing. I don't think they have those when I was a kid. Let me reset. But yeah, those tiny little chocolates, I can't even buy those because I'll end up eating the entire bag in no time until my stomach hurts. Because that's how I roll, even though I'm an old dude. I have zero control over those things. And let's see. Well, I was trying today, or earlier, to get my radio set up for CW. And I haven't actually never, gotten on the air on CW. Let it reset. So, today I'm like, all right, I'm going to jump into the net, and that's, by the way, that's the Oak Hill CW net, hosted by Pat, W5WTH, and that's at 7:30, that's before this one, at 7:30, on the 3.532 megahertz frequency, 3.532, and anybody can join in, regardless of your level. Obviously, I'm trying to join in, but I was not able to because I need to figure out how to get the radio set up for I have one of those little paddles that have like the did on the dad on the other side and one side and the other. Let me let it reset. So I plugged it in, but the radio was reading it, I guess, as if it was a straight key, and then I tried to switch it around and it still was reading it that way, but then I posted something on Discord. I asked the guys, and I show that little thing I have, the little key, and I think Sam, K5JM, I think. He told me that might be a setting on radio, so I'm going to look up how to switch the setting from like straight key to the little paddle and see if I can join in next week, hopefully, because I was all gung-ho about joining in today and goofing around there. But sounds like a fun net. I don't understand what they're saying yet, but I was just going to jump in and, put my call sign there and say a few silly things there and practicing while I learn while I get better at that. Let me say it again. And that's about it, man. And again, you're doing an excellent job at net control. Sounds like a seasoned dude doing that. I appreciate you running the net. And again, hello to everybody on the net and everybody listening. Back to net control. This is KI5PZN.
All right, thanks, Ernesto. I think I had a good group of people modeling net control here in this club. So thanks to you as well and everybody else. So hey, everybody, Ernesto is here. He's checked in. He's told us about Snickers and Morse code. Anybody have any comments for Ernesto here? KI5PZN. Please come now with your name and call sign. All right. Well, nothing hurt. Thanks again, Ernesto, for checking in, for the guidance, and hey, thanks for plugging the CW net that happens this evening as well. So yeah, thanks. Next on the list, we've got KA5D with no traffic, and after him, we've got Mike K5MWA. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Thank you, Net Control. This is K5MWA, and I'm doing just fine. I timed my nap just right this afternoon, and I woke up right before the net. How about that? Heard you guys get on and in between getting something ready for the wife to eat and fiddling around in here. It's been a pretty good day. It was a lighter weight day working today, so that's all I've got. I'm looking at the DX heat map, and I'm watching Argentina working on 40 meters, so that's for Rod. I'm looking at, I'll see if I can't snag Argentina on 40. Anyway, that's Kilo 5 Mike Whiskey Alpha, K5MWA, back to net.
Well, thanks, Mike, for checking in. Hey, everybody, Mike's here. Does anybody want to say hi to Mike? I've got a comment for him. Come now with your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Go ahead, BZI.
Hey, Mike. Glad to hear you finally had a more relaxed day at work. I know you've been working your tail off. You were telling me about it last time we were chatting on Southside Simplex. So glad to hear it's easing up on you there a bit, buddy.
Oh, it's just for the day. There's plenty more where that came from.
Yeah, roger that, man. Back to net control, K5BZI.
Thanks, Ray. Hey, does anybody else want to say hi to Mike? All right, well, nothing hurt. Hey, Mike, you got any final comments?
No, I'm good. Easy to please. Back to net.
All right, well, hey, thanks for checking in. I'm going to move on now to the next person on the list, which is Rod, W5NDS. Rod, how are you doing tonight? And hey, how about some candy discussion, if nothing else?
Well, Well, I think I can provide that, Aaron. Good evening to you. Thanks for doing net control duty here, and hello to everybody on the net that I've heard so far. My favorite candy is the Score Bar, and second to that would be the Heath Bar, which is very similar. I think I've talked to some of you on the Simplex net about that. The Score Bar is chocolate over a core of toffee, and the Heath Bar is pretty similar, although a little smaller. And then let me reset here. I'm coming in on the flagship station for the flagship repeater for the first time. I'm usually on the 440 outlet. I know that all of you want to know, since we're on the topic of sweets, what I had for dessert tonight. I had bread pudding from the that place out on 2222. There, the barbecue place. So I just enjoyed some of that before the net started. Let me reset. And some of you heard on the Simplex net that I managed to work the de-expedition over in Benin, which is East Africa. There, it was on CW on, I guess it was 17 meters. And speaking of CW, Ernesto, if you look in the book, all these modern rigs have a menu there where you can set the type of key that you're going to use. So yours came with set up for straight key, but you'll find you'll be able to select the paddles there on the menu. And I guess that's it for me. W5NDS, back to net.
Hey, Rod. Well, hey, thanks for checking in. And yeah, I do remember you mentioned the Score Bar, basically that English toffee type of candy on the Southside Simplex. I was getting a off and on signal that night, but I could make that out. Hey, I think is the barbecue place that you're referring to on 2222, is that County Line that had the bread pudding?
That's it. That's one of their dessert selections.
Man, I don't think I've tried that. I'm going to have to put that on the list. So I appreciate you letting us know about that. Because, yeah, bread pudding, that sounds pretty good. So, hey, everybody.
Serve it with a big helping of ice cream as well. But I let a lady eat my ice cream, and I brought the bread pudding home.
You know what? I'm lactose intolerant, so I'd probably do the same thing. Hey, so, everybody, Rod's here. He's joining us. Does anybody want to come with their name and call sign to give a comment or just say hi to Rod?
BBS.
F-I-P-Z-N.
All right, go Rusty, and then afterwards I think Ernesto. So, go Rusty.
Hey Rod, so it's been a while since I've heard anybody that's brought up a score or a Heath bar. Heath bar was my dad's favorite. He'd always get a Heath Blizzard at Dairy Queen, and that was his favorite. So I'm wondering, I don't hear any noise. It doesn't sound like you've got like a messed out squirrel in your radio anymore. Did you fix that, or is that why you're on the 147320?
No, when did I have a messed up squirrel in my radio? Maybe when I was on 220 that time.
Yeah, it would like swirl up and down. There was a really weird noise in the back of your radio, and it usually, like, I would say probably the last 2 or 3 times you've been on the net, and it kind of like, it slowly starts up and then it'll slowly kind of fade off, and there's been nothing on the last 2, so I was just wondering if you fixed something or what you were coming in on, because that sounds good, man.
Well, thanks for letting me know about that. And I will be looking into that. I can fix up some kind of a monitor here where I can keep track of my signal. W5NDS.
K5BZI.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Roy. I just wanted to throw my vote in on the Heath bar / score bar group there. I love those things. And on that note, I found out the other day, so they make these chocolate cookies that are like solid chocolate. They call them crumble or something like that. Yeah, Allie says she thinks they call them brownie cookies. But anyway, they're like flaky chocolate cookies, and I've always loved those things. And I found out the other day why I love them so much is because they're made with toffee.
Well, that explains it.
So glad to hear there's at least a small cult following for the Heath bar out there. Back to net, K5BZI.
All right, thanks, Ray. Hey, I think Ernesto, you were going to come also with a comment for Rod. You still out there? You want to come back?
Yeah, Rod. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, Rod. I was first want to thank you for the information on the for the CW key. Yes, I think that's the case. I was looking through the manual. It doesn't, to me, from my my background, which is not this, it doesn't seem very easy to understand. But I know that's what it is. So I'm gonna be looking on YouTube for. I'm sure there's a nerd out there who already have a video on how to do that. 'Cause I don't have a stray key yet. I would have used that one too. But yeah, thanks for the info. And that bread pudding, man, you just brought a bunch of old memories. I grew up, my mom used to make that when I was a kid every once in a while, and I always enjoy that, and I completely forgotten about bread pudding, so thanks for reminding me of that. And that's it. Back to net. This is K5BZN.
Hey, Rod, you got any other comments tonight?
If and when you want to try that. W5NDS, back to net.
Hey, Rod, I think I doubled on you. Can you come again with that last comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I have a straight key here that I could loan to Ernesto if he'd like to try it.
Thank you, Rod. Yeah, I might take you up on that 'cause I haven't used straight key yet. But it's, you know, it's part of what I guess what I need to do, because I should learn how to use both of them. I appreciate, and there was something else that I was going to say, but I might come back later when it comes back to mind. I have something else to tell you. Oh, okay. So that noise that Rusty was saying, usually when I've heard that sound on the background when you key in, to me it sounds more like when you're deflating a balloon and you're trying to make that squeaky noise on the back. But I've heard that when you check into the Sunday net, the Sunday night net, and I'm not sure if you're using a 220 radio for that, or if you're coming in on 2 meters or 70 centimeters. But whatever you're using, or you used this last Sunday, that's the radio that's making that sound on the background, and that'll be finally KFI-PZ and back to net.
Okay, thanks, Ernesto. And yes, I was on 220 last Sunday night. W5NDS, back to net.
Hey, Rod. Yeah, I was thinking that it kind of sounds like one of those slider whistles going in the background. Like, I don't know how to make that sound, but I think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. W5NDS.
All right. Hey, thanks, Rod. Let's go to the next person on the list, who happens to be WZ5 Bulletin Board System, Rusty. How you doing tonight, Rusty? And give me some good candy recommendations for Halloween.
Hey man, yeah, you're lucky you're not next to me. The candy corn comment, I would have thrown something at you for sure. There's not a portal to hell big enough to dump all that stuff in there. So yeah, I would say my favorite Halloween candy would be the Reese's peanut butter cups. Those I cannot control myself around those. And then the next one would be Twix. So between those two, that's what I would go for. It's been a pretty busy week this week. I've been enjoying chats on the Slacker chat, though. And then you and I also, Ernesto, we had a nice little insomnia net on, what was it, Friday or Saturday night. We chatted for a couple hours on the repeater. So I've been on the repeater chatting, but nothing else to report, really. And, yeah, that's it. I'm looking forward to the potluck coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. So go RSVP. Go put your name on the list so we can get enough chicken. That's all I got, man. WZ5BBS, back to net control.
All right, Rusty. Well, I did RSVP, so we'll be there. And that's right, Insomnia Net on Saturday night. I don't know that I can commit to that every weekend, but hey, it was cool. So hey. Anybody got any comments for Rusty? Go ahead and come now with your name and call sign. All right, well, nothing heard. Hey, Rusty, I think folks are agreeing with your choice of candies, Twix and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Those are some of my favorites as well. But hey, you got any final comments?
I would just like to remind everybody that the trivia net is not rigged. Cody just sucks at trivia. That's about all I got.
All right, well, thanks for checking in. You know what? It's time for a station identification. So let me go ahead and take care of that business. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. My name is Aaron, AI5HP, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. Speaking of, Rusty kind of gave a call out to Cody and Trivia Net. I won't ask about that, but hey, Cody, KI5YLS, how you doing tonight? And how you feel about candy for Halloween candy choices?
Hey Aaron, how's it going? This is KI5YLS, Cody, in Colleen. First of all, I'm going to say, I don't care what Rusty says, that's 100% rigged. Hands down. And as for candy selection, you know, I haven't heard any good ones yet. I haven't heard anything like Nerds or Twizzlers or Snickers or, you know, something along those lines. M&M's. I'm surprised nobody has said M&M's yet. Like, what's up with that? That's a big national candy. But yeah, no, not a whole lot's happened with me, except today I went and signed on a new used car, so that's awesome.
Well, hey, Cody, congrats on that. And, yeah, I think, actually, I think Ernesto called out Snickers. So you got an agreement there with the Snickers at least. I'll let other people comment on your other candy selected options. Hey, does anybody have anything for Cody who's checking in all the way from Colleen? Please come now with your name and call sign.
AI5IR.
All right, Sam. Hey, what do you got for Cody? Go ahead.
Hey, Cody. Congrats on the car. Just wanted to ask, what kind of M&Ms are you referring to when you say you like those? For me, it's going to be the peanut M&Ms, my favorite. But have a good one. AI5IR.
Yeah, Sam, how you doing? Thanks for the congrats on the car. Yeah, no, I mean, peanut is just hands down, like, the best. I like the peanut ones, I like the originals, and I can't think of off the top of my head right now. I know there's some of the flavored ones that I like, but, yeah, peanut ranked number one, easily.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, Sam. Anybody else want to come and say hi to Cody? He's calling in from Colleen.
KF5OBD.
Go ahead, KF5OBD.
Hey, Cody. Scott, KF5OBD here. Congrats on the call, first of all. And M&M's, yeah, all for it. I like my M&M's in my popcorn. Kind of melty. Right in the popcorn and mixed up. KF5OBD, back to net.
All right, thanks, Scott. Hey, Cody, you got any final comments for us?
You know, Scott, I can't say that I disagree with you on that. Just throw some M&Ms in that popcorn, and man, it makes it sound real good. Final comments, not too really. Just hope everybody's having has a wonderful weekend, and I will see all y'all at the potluck. I will be there in my fancy new car, of course. So be on the lookout, and I'm bringing all the craziness and all the fun, and bringing bags of chips. Although I had to replace the bag, I got hungry late one night, so yeah, that was my fault. But yeah, no, that's my final comments, and Rusty, it's still rigged, and back to net.
All right, Cody, thanks for checking in. And I'm just going to say that milk duds are for mixing with popcorn. And the reason is because then everything just gets all gummed up in your works and stuff, and it just lasts a lot longer that way. And I'm not letting anybody comment on that. instead, I'm going to go to Anderson, KI5NLK. Hey, Anderson, how about you come with your candy preference for Halloween and anything else you want to discuss?
Oh, hey man, KI5NLK here. Candy preference. You gotta watch me with candy, man. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I'll eat any and every bit of candy you put in front of me, and pay for it later. But I think the best is, Rusty's right with the candy corns. They really are the best candy out there as far as, bang for your buck. But no, I'm being silly. Peanut butter M&Ms are kind of the best of the best. Either that, or if you're feeling like something that's like a gummy candy or whatever, you can't go wrong with the old school Starburst. But yeah, I got nothing else, man. Just been doing radio stuff and talking on the Slacker chats. Back to net control.
Yeah, hey Anderson. Yeah, I think I made one or two. I shouldn't say one or two. I made one Slacker chat last week, and I did enjoy talking with you as well on there. Hey, anybody else got a comment or want to say hi to Anderson? He's here, KI5NLK. You want to say hi to him? Go ahead and come now with your name and call sign.
BBS.
Go, Rusty.
So can we bring a bunch of candy to the potluck and see how much candy it takes to put you in a coma?
You can, but thanks to the miracle of modern science, I just crank the dial up, and life is good until my machinery kills over.
Oh, we'll break your phone. We can fix that.
Hey, if anybody can break anything at radio outings, it's Rusty. I remember at Winter Field Day, your radio was toast from the get-go.
It was. I didn't even get to show up and play radio. It was DOA, man, and hopefully that won't happen again this year. But thanks for the reminder. What are you bringing to the potluck, Anderson?
Look at you putting me on the spot, man. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it out there that weekend. I have some family that's coming in town. I may be able to sneak out there. I don't know. I'm gonna feel that one out. Oh, by the way, I just remembered radio stuff. I was talking to K5TR, and I think he said this weekend is like the biggest DX contest. I don't know if anybody mentioned it, but that's definitely worth doing if you're a DXer type. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make the potluck. As fun as it sounds, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I think that's not this weekend, but next weekend, right?
Yeah, it's on the calendar. Thanks for the contest update, and you're still a butthole. So we'll see you at the potluck November 5th. Bring a dessert.
All right, I will definitely maybe be there. Back to net control.
All right, man. Rusty, I'm just gonna say, if you look at what I signed up for on the potluck, go ahead and put the word candy right in front of it. Since I know you're such a big fan. Anybody else want to come with comment or say hi to Anderson, KI5NLK? He's here. Come now with your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Hey, Ray, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention that Anderson has the most travelingest family I've ever heard. Like, every time something comes up, he's got family coming into town. He must have a huge house. Quote unquote. Anderson, talked to the guy that rebuilt my transmission today, and I should have my truck back next week. And when it gets back here, I will carry your transmission lift back over to you, man. Thanks for the loan. Sorry I've had it so long, but I'll get it back to you here before too long.
Yeah, no rush there. I've had that thing's been sitting in my attic for the better part of 3 years, so it's not like it needs to get back, but hopefully it's getting some good use from you. Back to net control. Yeah, I've been okay.
All right, thanks, Ray. Hey, anybody else want to come for Anderson? Come now with your name and call sign.
5MWA.
I heard you, Mike.
Roger that. I want to iterate what Anderson said about that Worldwide DX contest. Those guys are already starting to heat up the bands out there, getting some practice time in. Just grabbed Cayman Islands or something. There's a guy working hot and heavy out of the Caymans right now, and all over the place. So if anybody's got the desire to do some DX, especially if you're attacking, you can work on 10 meters. I'm sure that there's some 10-meter action going on out there. Anyway, that's all I got. K5MW.
Alright, thanks. Hey, my radio just rebooted on me, so I didn't catch all of that, but I appreciate it. Anderson, final comments one more time before we move on.
No more comments from me. I did notice your radio kind of rebooted there. I was like, where did he go? And that makes sense if your radio was rebooting. So hopefully that clears up. You can't have a rebooting radio while you're running the net, man. Good job so far.
Yeah, I'll have to give that radio a what for later on. Hey, thanks, Anderson. Sam, AI5IR, I've got you up next. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing well, keeping busy. As for candy, I'm going to say that I got a sweet tooth and I will eat pretty much anything that people have mentioned so far. But a good favorite for me is going to be chocolate, specifically white chocolate. There's a place called Seriously Chocolate. It's down on Old Menchaca Road. They have a sister company, Third Coast Coffee. They do everything from scratch from the bean right there, and it's pretty great. I've been camping this weekend out at Lake Georgetown, Russell Park, and then was in Nashville last week, so unfortunately did miss the net, but it's good to be back, and yeah, have a good one.
Alright, hey, well, thanks for coming with those questions earlier tonight. Appreciate it. Hey, y'all, Sam's here, AI5IR. Y'all got any comments for Sam? Come now with your name and call sign.
KI5YLS.
Go, Cody.
Hey Sam, I know we just spoke, but I wanted to ask, you said you like the white chocolate. So do you like the pretzel covered white chocolate? I've seen them in stores in a little baggie, but basically it's just like the hard pretzels dipped in white chocolate.
I will admit I'm pretty picky when it comes to chocolate. I have not tried that, but I don't really like any of these store-bought white chocolate at all. It's just the local-made bean-to-bar stuff that I really enjoy.
Alright, yeah. Man, I'm not much for really I like chocolate, and I like white chocolate, but man, you start putting it on pretzels, oh, God, I feel like I'm in heaven. So, yeah, I wanted to see if you were the same way.
I might have to give it a try. Thanks for the recommendation.
Alright, hey, thanks Cody for coming back with Sam. Hey, does anybody else have a comment for Sam, AI5IR? He's here.
K5BZI.
Go, Ray.
Hey, Sam. Not a huge fan of white chocolate, honestly, but I was just curious if you ever do any CW work, because your call sign is interesting in Morse code.
Hi, great question. I'm actually in the middle, I believe it's lesson 18 of 40 of LCWO. I've been learning CW. I want to do Parks in the Air, so you'll catch me on the CW net before too long. I do not have an HF radio, but we're going to get there.
Right on, man. So are you getting carpal tunnel syndrome pushing all those dips for your call sign there?
will not be using a straight key. We'll put it that way.
Well, it could be worse. Lance, W5KEX, his call sign used to be KI5HHK, and that was a lot of dips. Not as, quite a bit more than yours, but you still got it going on there. So, well, good luck, man. Glad to hear glad to hear you're studying CW stuff. That's cool. Good luck with it.
I think that double H sounds like a recipe for disaster. Gonna sound like there's an error every time he transmits his call sign. But yeah, see you on the air soon.
Alright, thanks, Ray. Hey, does anybody else have anything for Sam tonight? Alright, nothing heard. Well, hey, Sam, yeah, I gotta go with Cody. You gotta try some white chocolate covered pretzels. I gotta give it to Cody there. You got any final comments, Sam?
Nope, but I'm looking for people to do CW with, so hit me up.
Alright, sounds good. Hey, it sounds like we've got a huge, or I should say at least a significant group of folks here tonight that have an interest in CW, so you shouldn't have any problem making some contacts here. Next we've got Kent, KI5RBT. Hey, Kent, how you doing tonight?
Hey, man, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for running the net. I really don't have any other traffic, though. I'm just fighting with my new setup here and my cat, who's trying to claw my arm up and destroy the chair he's sitting in. KI5RBT.
Alright, Kent, well, does anybody have any questions or comments for Kent tonight?
KI5PZN.
Alright, I heard a double there. There was a MWA I think I could make out. Can you come again?
K5MWA.
K5MWA, go ahead.
Just want to say hi, Kent. Hadn't talked to you in a while. So, acting in.
Alright, hey, and then there was another person that had come. Go ahead and come now.
KI5PZN.
Go, Ernesto.
Kent, want to say hi, and yeah, sweet setup over there. Got to see a picture of Kent's new shack, and it looks pretty cool. And then I was going to ask you, I think you work from home, you told me before. Can you hit the repeater, I guess during the day, or you're usually away from the radios during the day? I usually I'm not hearing you during the daytime. Just curious.
Yeah, I could. I'm usually on customer calls at least big chunks of the day, but the radio is sitting on the desk right next to my work stuff right now, so and I will have more radios in here probably by the end of the week. Well, I guess let's just say by the end of next week I should. KI5RBT.
Right on. Good to know, so that we can start pestering you during the day. That's it. Back to net control. It's KI5PZN.
Thanks, Ernesto. Hey, does anybody else have a comment for Kent? Come now with your name and call sign. Alright, well, nothing heard. Hey, Kent, thanks for checking in tonight. Looking forward to seeing you on the Trivia Net tomorrow night. You got any final comments?
Negative. Thanks for running the net. You're doing a really good job. KI5RBT. Back to net.
Alright, folks, that was Kent, KI5RBT. Thank you, Kent. Next on my list, I've got Jared, N5AFC. Jared out in East Austin. How you doing?
not too bad. Just got to answer the candy question first. There's only one correct answer, and that's a Zagnut bar, because Beetlejuice, and I'll just leave it at that. But also, hearing all talk about the potluck, I think it just times out great, because I've got a busy weekend this weekend and the weekend after, but I think I'll be able to squeeze that in. So pencil me in for that, and I will be coming with some homemade refried beans that are, they're pretty badass. I'm just going to kind of brag a little bit there. Let the repeater breathe for a second. But, yeah, I had drill with the Texas State Guard last weekend, and when their comms went down, I was out there with a camera tripod and a J-pole and my HT as a licensed operator, helping to set them up and save the day. So, yeah, getting some mileage out of the ticket. Then today I had a really great interview with the lead state agency for emergency management, so it looks like I will be moving there pretty soon, probably within a month or so. We'll just kind of keep our fingers crossed on that. But otherwise, that's been my week so far, and enjoying all the chat on the Thursday Night Net. Back to you, Net Control.
All right, well, thanks, Jared. Yeah, wish you luck on that post interview. And Zagnut, I'm not even sure that even registers in my mind what that is. I think I know what it is. I think it's a nougat type of candy, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
It is, and I mean, I do love that the movie Beetlejuice. It's been a while. I'm going to probably rewatch it this weekend. But, yeah, Zagnut is not for those of you who have heavy dental work. I'll just put it at that.
All right, I hear you. And I don't remember the Beetlejuice reference, so I think you're going to force me to have to rewatch that as well. Hey, everybody, Jared's here in 5AFC. You want to say hi to him, or if you got a question or comment for him, come now with your name and call sign.
KI5IR.
KI5R, you got cut off the rest of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, AI5R. But glad to hear you're bringing beans. One of my favorite meals is beans and cornbread. All grouping in the cornbread, so it looks like we have a meal. Usually don't do it with refried beans, but we'll see what it's like.
Yeah, Roger, my, tacos, cornbread, if you're a pure Texan and you make correct chili, then you can have the beans on the side, but you can't go wrong with the frijoles in 5AFC.
All right, thanks, Sam. Hey, anybody else got a question or comment for Jared? All right, well, nothing hurt. Jared, you got any final comments before we move on?
Nothing left here. Just hope everybody has a great weekend. And back to you, Net Control. You're doing a great job.
All right, thank you. Hey, y'all. That's the end of round one for our check-ins, and I know there's a few more of you out there that haven't checked in. So before I start round two, let's pause for station identification. You are listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central, and my name is Aaron, AI5HP. I'm your net controller for tonight's net. Let's go for round two of check-ins. These are regular check-ins. Again, if you want to check in, just come with your name and call sign.
This is KI5OBD, Scott and Kyle.
This is Kilo India 5,
Bravo Zulu India, Ray, and South Austin.
This is KB5MPJ, Kilo Bravo 5, Mike Papa Juliet, Jason and Vita.
This is Whiskey 5, Mike Victor Delta.
This is KI5 STT, Dave and Buda.
All right. So far I've got KI5 OBD Scott, KI5 BZI Ray, KB5 MPJ Jason, W5MVD, and KI5 STT Dave. Anybody else want to check in to tonight's net? All right, well, nothing heard. Okay, so let's go to Scott, KI5 OBD. Scott, how are you doing tonight?
Real good, thanks, Aaron. Thanks for running the net. You're doing a great job. Howdy, everybody on the net. Halloween candy. We always get several of those fun size assortments, bags of those fun size assortments, and it's a toss-up. I've traditionally Kit Kat all the way, but this year it's like the $100 grand is tasting extra good this year. So it looks like Ray and I'd be fighting over the fun size bag. But Rusty likes the Reese's and something else in there, so he can have those. And Rod got me thinking about desserts. He was talking about his bread pudding, which sounded excellent. So let me talk about cake for a minute. We had our kids in town. We had 2 adult children visiting all week last week from California, and it started off great. We had a great time. After about Wednesday, it started going downhill, and we started falling into old ruts, you know. But it was great. We had a great time. But Carrie went all out for him with dessert wise. We had carrot cake, which Emily loves. We had coffee cheesecake with the Oreo crust and the chocolate ganache on top, and tres leches. So we went through all that. We finished it off last week. Last night we found ourselves with no cake. We were laying in bed watching TV, and this happens frequently. Let me let it drop. We'll be there. You know, we finally found something to agree on that we want to watch, and we're watching it, and we'll look at each other and go, "I want something. We want dessert." You know, so we got up last night and came in the kitchen. We found a can of crushed pineapples, and Carrie goes, "Hey, here's some pineapple cake mix." And so like 45 minutes later, we had us a pineapple upside down cake, which I haven't had in a long time, which is really great because you got the pineapples with the brown sugar and the butter all crusted up in there, drizzled down, and it gets the edges all crusty. Yeah, that's my contribution to the net tonight. I've put on a couple of pounds last week, so looking forward to trivia tomorrow night. See y'all there. This is KI5 OBD, Scott and Kyle, back to net.
All right, thanks, Scott. Yeah, I have to admit, I kind of like those 100 grand bars too. And that cheesecake that you described sounds really good, and so did that pineapple upside down cake. So yeah. Hey, Scott's here. Anybody want to come say hi to him or have a comment for him? Come now with your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, man. I was surprised that it's been so long and all this net and no one had brought up Kit Kats. And, yeah, good job there. Pineapple upside down cake sounds amazing. You know, those upside down cakes are the way to go because just for the exact reason you described, that crustiness, all that stuff oozes down and it's so good, man. So, yeah, good stuff. I was there. Good to see you, man. K5BZI.
Anybody else have anything for Scott tonight? All right, nothing heard. Hey, Scott, want to give any final comments?
Oh, not a lot. Looking forward to the DX contest this weekend. If I get time between chores and shopping for a new freezer. Yeah, looking forward to a fun weekend and trivia, and it's been great. Great net. I'm gonna retire here pretty quick. Thanks a lot. KF5OBD, back to net.
All right, thanks for staying up with us. Next, I've got Ray, K5BZI. Ray, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for hosting the net. You're doing a fantastic job, as everyone has said. And I would like to agree with Rusty that those candy corns are in fact delicious. I love them and I eat them up constantly throughout this time of the year. They're delicious. Those and little pumpkins. But I have to say that my favorite is Almond Joy. Almond Joy is where it's at. Especially the little packages, you know, because you get like one or two in each one, or one in each one. They're so good, man. And my wife is really good about setting them aside for me, so I love those things. But, you know, there's pretty much not a candy that I will turn down, honestly. I like the Kit Kats, but the 300 grams, the 100 grams are good, but they're a little too chewy. I get tired of chewing them after a while. Let's see, DX contest this weekend. I actually have taken, I marked time off on the calendar because the last few contests that have come around, I've had to miss, and we don't have any plans this weekend, so I'm not taking any calls. I'm not making any plans, dude. From 7 p.m. tomorrow through the end of that sucker, I'm going to be right here in my shack making DX contacts. I'm looking forward to it. And last but not least, for those of you who are keeping up with my great-grandmother's 1950 Plymouth project, I had time this week between deployments while I was working to actually put the suspension parts back on it. So here in a few days, hopefully, if I can get the tires mounted sometime over the next few days, the car, the body and frame will be back on its own 4 wheels again. And it's been a couple of years since it's been sitting on jack stands, so I'm actually looking forward to getting that thing back on all 4 wheels. That'll be cool. So anyway, I will share pics if anybody wants them. And hello everyone on the net tonight. Thanks for jumping in, and it's good to hear everybody. And I'll let you have it back there, man. K5BZI, back to that.
All right, thanks, Ray. Hey, does anybody want to say hi to Ray or have a comment for him? Come now with your name and call sign.
KF5 and OK.
Go ahead, Cat5 and OK.
I was just going to say, Ray, you know, don't worry about pictures. None of us like seeing pictures of cars, especially when they're being worked on. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Don't waste your time.
Yeah. Don't want to make you jealous.
I'm totally kidding. We want to see every picture. If you'd live stream it, we'd be there with you.
I've been taking pictures as I went along this week, so I'll share a few tonight. I'll put them in the cars channel.
I'm definitely here for it. Back to net control.
Anybody else want to come and say hi to Ray? Cat5BZI, he's here. Want to give a comment to him? Come down with your name and call sign.
KI5YLS.
Hey, Cody, go ahead.
So, you know, the last person that I would expect to betray me like that on candy by eating the disgusting candy corn would be my own family member, uncle. Those things are disgusting. The only way to eat them is throwing them away. But on another note, are you planning on, when you put that Plymouth together, are you planning on surprising my grandmother with it by driving down here, like, to show her, or are you just gonna tell her, hey, it's done, want to come see it? If so, then I won't say anything to her.
Well, yeah, of course. You know, I mean, it's going to be a couple years before it's all done. I mean, I've got a little ways to go. I don't work on it in the summertime because my garage is like 1,000 degrees and it faces west, so the evening sun just heats it up even more. So which means that within the last couple of weeks, I call it Plymouth season, just started again. So that's why I've been out there working on it. I spent last Sunday cleaning up bolts and painting stuff, and it's got all the hardware all cleaned and painted, so that's why I've been able to start putting stuff back on it. As for, yeah, so I mean, it'll be a while. But as for candy, you know, I was thinking earlier, you know, your grandfather, my father, his favorite, his kryptonite is peanut M&Ms and Dr. Pepper. So that's where you get your affinity for M&Ms there. Back to net, K5BZI.
All right, thanks, Cody. Anybody else got a comment for Ray here? All right, nothing heard. Ray, thanks for checking in. Thanks for having Allie help with the news tonight. And yeah, you got any final comments before we move on, Ray?
I want to say, you know, welcome to the Net Control Club there, man. It's great to have you, and you're doing a great job, and look forward to doing your news more often. K5BZI, back to net.
All right, thanks, Ray. Hey, next up on the list is Jason. Jason, how are you doing, Cave? I think I didn't get your call sign right. KBMPJ. I think there might be a 5 in there somewhere. Jason, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well. Yeah, it's KB5MPJ, Kilo Bravo 5, Mike Papa Juliet. Yeah, as far as candy's concerned, I'm always a fan of the Snickers bar. It's usually my go-to candy when when I'm on the road or something. I also like gummy bears. I like the regular ones and the sour ones. And I heard somebody, I think Rusty was talking about Heath Bar Blizzards. So I'm a fan of that as well as the Oreo Blizzard. So that's kind of my taste in sweets. Back to Net Control.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for that, Jason. Thank you for checking in. Hey, anybody want to come and say hi to Jason, KB5MPJ? He's here tonight. Come now with your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Go, Ray.
Jason, I found that diplexer I was looking for the other day. You still need it?
Yeah, Roger, I can still use that.
All right, man. It was right. The weird thing is, man, it's in the first, I swear it's in the first box I looked in. I just found it the other day. I'm like, there it is, sitting right there, right where I thought it was that day when I went looking for it. I don't know why I couldn't put my eyes on it that day. But anyway, it's here for you, man.
Okay, yeah, I guess the domes were finished with it, but yeah, I'll take that if you no longer need it.
Hey, man, I'm at that stage in my ham radio career where getting stuff off of my shelf is a good thing. So yeah, come get it whenever you're ready. Or hey, I'll bring it to the potluck. How's that sound?
Yeah, that works too.
Of course, you're welcome to come get it earlier than that if you want, but if not, I'll bring it to the potluck. K5BZI, back to net.
Thanks, Ray. Hey, anybody else want to come say hi to Jason, KB5MPJ? He's here. He's checked in. Come now with your name and call sign. Well, nothing heard. Jason, thank you for checking in tonight. I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for the shout out too. I think you, Ray, there's a lot of you that were instrumental in helping me get online to where I could get a good signal out to the repeater, and which led to me being able to run the net tonight. So thanks.
Yeah, you're sounding good into the repeater. Thanks for doing the net. You're doing a great job tonight.
I appreciate it. Hey, anybody else? Or I should say, Jason, you got any other final comments before we move on?
No, I think that's it. So, if you got any Snickers bars or gummy bears, send them my way. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Back to net control.
Roger that. Hey, next on our list, I've got Joshua W5MVD. How are you doing tonight?
W5MVD here. I'm doing great, thank you. My apologies for not letting you know my name and ETA earlier. Joshua from Terrell. Man, you're doing a good job on the net, so keep up the good work with that. As far as the candy types, I don't know. If I'm on a road trip or something, I might grab a Twix bar that in my brain is a favorite, but I'm not picky. If we go to Halloween when I was a kid, I always liked getting bottle caps. I don't really know why that bottle caps candy was my favorite. I guess I only got it on Halloween, so it was something special. But yeah, in general, I'm not too picky. I got a bunch of extra candy this year, and I'll probably hold some back from the trick-or-treaters if they don't go too crazy, just so I can have some. My daughter can have extra. I guess this weekend I'll try to do some of that DX contest. Plan on going out to at least a park or two and trying to do a couple POTA activations on the 705. So been hunting a lot, but haven't done an activation yet. So excited about that, and hopefully during that DX contest it'll be good to try to double up on some DX QRP and POTA stuff. That's about it on my end. I heard the net going on and popped in. Wanted to tell you a good job on there, and now I got to get back to being responsible and knock out a bunch of work before the office. So W5MVD, back to net.
Hey, thank you, Joshua. Hey, before you go, let's see if anybody else wants to jump in here with a comment or question for you. Does anybody have a comment or question for Joshua W5MVD? Come now with your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, Joshua, I just wanted to say hi, man. Don't recognize the call, and thanks for jumping in. It's good to hear from you from up there in Terrell.
Yeah, absolutely, Ray. My pleasure. I don't get on as much on Thursday nights as I like to. It's one of those things where it's just been busy lately, but good to be on here this evening.
All right, thanks, Ray. Hey, does anybody else want to come for Joshua W5MVD? Come now with your name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Well, Joshua, thank you again for checking in. I appreciate it. And, yeah, we'll catch you next time. But any final comments before we move on?
One quick one, yeah. During the tornado Monday, since we just can't get away from tornadoes here, I could not get to Skywarn on my HT, and I don't remember who it was. I wish I did. Suggested running coax down into the safe room and then hooking the HT up to that. I just want to say thank you. That's a fantastic advice. And anybody else out there that has like a shelter room in their thing, man, I think everybody should do that. Just run a UHF VHF antenna down so you can actually get out if you have to take shelter and need to get on the radio instead of trying to do all sorts of crazy things during a storm. But that's it. W5MVD clear.
All right, Joshua. Well, hey, thanks for that advice, and thanks to everybody, whoever gave that advice to you. We're glad that you're safe and that your family was safe. Next on the list is Dave, KI5STT. Dave, how are you doing tonight? What's your candy preference for Halloween?
Hey, Aaron. Thanks for running the net. I'm with Ray on candy preference. Almond Joy. I got into a bag of those tonight, and I'm paying the price for it. So, also somebody will check my memory. I think a Zagnut's like a Butterfinger without the chocolate. So, also we're fighting, trying to get this new radio going. Holly tried to check in earlier this evening, but didn't have any luck, so she's getting a complex. But anyway, this is W5STT back to net.
All right. Hey, thanks, Dave. Anybody want to come for Dave with a comment or question? Come now to your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, Dave. Man, I think you got a problem with the tone board in that thing, because you guys were half in, half out last week, and when it comes to CTCSS tones, it either works or it doesn't. So the fact that you were able to get in some of the time, but not all the time, tells me that. And when it finally kicked in, you were in there, no problem.
Thanks, Ray. We tried a different radio. Hopefully this sounds better and not getting that tone or anything. So, K5STT.
Yeah, this radio sounds good. So, whatever you're doing with this one's working. K5BZI back to net.
Thanks, Ray. Hey, does anybody else have anything for Dave? Come now to your name and call sign. Nothing heard. Hey, Dave, so you're down here in Buda also, right? You and Holly?
Yes, we are. We're at 967 and 1626.
All right, yeah, so we're next door neighbors, basically, because that's pretty much where I am as well.
Cool, we'll have to meet sometime. KI5STT, back to net.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, anybody else have anything for Dave? And they do one last check to see before we move on, especially in Buda people represent. All right, nothing heard. Final comments, Dave, before we move on.
Just like to say hello to everybody and looking forward to the potluck and good job running the net. KI5STT, back to net control.
Appreciate it, Dave. Hey, y'all, let me do another pause for station identification. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club. Call sign N50AK. We're every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. And my name is Aaron, AI5HP, the net control for tonight's net. That was check-in number 23, and that was the last one on my list for what I'm calling round 2. So let me go ahead and start up a round 3 to see if anybody's been reluctant to check in, or maybe you're just getting around to firing up the radio and now you can key in. Go ahead and come now with your name and call sign. We can get you checked in.
This is
AI5OS, Justin.
November 5,
Austin,
uniform with
Texas.
uniform. Carson.
Alright, nothing heard, so I'll just go with Justin. I'll do another check after we say hi to Justin AI50S. How are you doing tonight, Justin?
Howdy there. Yeah, not doing too bad. Just kind of sitting here in front of the computer and fired up the radio, just kind of doing some work on HF, and I'm kind of looking at some interesting loop designs here, just to see what's going on, and contemplating, seeing about scheming ways to see about getting my hex beam up to handle the higher bands. And not a whole lot, just I kind of rewired the shack with some Cat6 cable here, and so it's been very nice to have everything back online here near the computer, a couple of different operating position here, so that everything's working. And good to hear y'all out there. Hoping I can try to make it to the potluck. I'd like to, for sure. So anyway, this is AI5OS here in Austin.
Thanks, Justin. Hey, everybody. Justin's checked in, and he's talking about hex beams and the DX, what do you call it, contesting. Do you want to come and say hi to Justin or have a comment, question for him? Come now with your name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Hey, Justin, I appreciate you checking in tonight. You got any final comments for us before we move on?
No, I just want to come out and give a huge shout out and a thanks for everything that the N50AK Club does to help out, hams around the area. I think what you guys do is great, and it's good to hear you on here. Anybody listening up here in Austin, you can certainly hear the simulcast of this net on my All-Star node, which is linked up to the University Link system as well. So again, I appreciate everything y'all do. This is AI5OS.
All right, Justin. Hey, thanks. And I think the feeling is mutual here. You're part of the org, and especially for you checking in tonight and for linking everything up. It's appreciated on the rest of the club's side as well.
Well, I don't do a whole lot. I just play radio. You guys are out there really doing some stuff, and so appreciate everything.
All right, thank you. Hey, everybody. I'm going to do one last check for check-ins. If you want to come now with your name and call sign, please do so. All right, nothing heard. So, that was 24 check-ins that I recorded tonight. Thank you, everybody that checked in and participated. I think it's time to wrap this up. And I also like to thank my backups, Ray, K5BZI, Sam, AI5IR, Jeffrey, KI5MBF, and Rusty, WZ5BBS. And thank you, Ernesto, for convincing me to take this tonight and helping me stay on the rails. Before I close the net, let's go through a list of the local nets so that you have the opportunity to ham it up throughout the week. On Monday, Mondays, we've got the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club 6-meter Monday net, hosted by Rick AI5A. That's on the 50.125 megahertz frequency upper sideband at 8 p.m. On Tuesdays, we've got the Oak Hill Southside Simplex, hosted by Ray K5BZI. That's on the 146.555 megahertz FM at 8 p.m. I'm often there as well. We also have the DMR Soundcheck Net on Tuesdays, hosted by George W5 JDX and Tommy N5ZNO. That's on the 441.300 repeater, the DMR machine at 8 p.m. On Wednesdays, we've got the UT Amateur Radio Club Wednesday Night Net, hosted by Matthew KN4LRA. That's on the University Link repeater system, and it's also linked up to the N5 OAK repeater system at 8 p.m. On Thursdays, nights like tonight, you've actually got two nets. At 7:30 is the Oak Hill CW net, hosted by Pat W5WTH. That's at 3.532 megahertz. And there are a lot of participants that checked into this net tonight that also do that one. So, and folks are firing up. So make sure you join in on that if you're interested in Morse code. We also have this net, the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by a different operator every week. That is on the N5 OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system at 8 o'clock at night. On Friday nights, we've got the Oak Hill Friday Night Trivia Net, hosted by Rusty WZ5BBS. That's on the N5 OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system, and that starts at 9 p.m. There might actually be a few other repeater systems that link up to that as well, so it usually turns into a pretty fun net. On Saturdays, we've got the Austin Amateur Radio Club's Elmer Net, hosted by Jeff N5MNW. That's on the 146.940 repeater at 7 p.m. We've also got the 220 megahertz Guy's Original Preservation Net, hosted by Steve KB9DSQ on the 224.100 megahertz repeater at 9 p.m. Sundays, we've got the Austin Amateur Radio Club 10-meter net, hosted by Rod W5NDS. That's on the 28.410 megahertz frequency upper sideband. That's at 3 p.m. We've also got the Travis County Aries weekly net. That's on the 147.360 megahertz repeater, and that's at 7 p.m. Also on Sunday nights, we have the Weekend Wind Down net, hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN, and Maria, KI5SYX. That's on the University Link repeater system and the N5 OAK repeater system, and that's at 7:30 on Sunday. At 9 o'clock on Sunday evenings, the Austin Amateur Radio Club has a swap net hosted by Jeff N5MNW. That's on the 146.940 megahertz repeater, and that's at 9 p.m. That's the list of the nets for the week. So make sure you jump on one or more of those. They're a lot of fun. That's why we got into this hobby, right? So that we can communicate. So lots of opportunities there. Thank you for joining us for the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. Service of the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We're right here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. We're a nonprofit based in Austin, Texas. For more information, please visit n5oak.org, where you can read about the club, sign up for our email list, or donate to support the continued growth of amateur radio. You might also consider joining our Discord group, where we stay in touch when we're not on the radio. We would also like to thank Kyle, KA5D, for linking the University Link repeater system to this net. I'm Aaron, call sign AI5HP, and from my QTH here in Buda, just south of Austin, Texas, 73 and thanks again for hanging out with us tonight. This system is now returned to regular amateur use.
Great net, Aaron. K5BZI.
No doubt, man. Good job. WZ5BBS.
You rocked it. K5PZN.
Thanks, y'all. AI5HP.
KF5CCN from WB5TXW, over. KF5CCN from WB5TXW, over.
AI5OS.
AI5OS from WB5TXW, over.
WB5TXW. This is AI5OS. Evening.
Yeah, hello. I thought I first heard you on 5-2. Who knows why I was hearing that. Anyway, hello.
Howdy. Well, no, I haven't been on 5-2 all evening at all. I've kind of I finally ran across something I have been desperately looking for, and I'm polishing off an email. I found a guy who's got an old gimmick, actually, which I've been looking for, and another device called an Atom, which is an audible tuning output meter that I'm just trying to get stuff ready to send him a little something for it.
Great.
Other than that, not much going on in my place. What's shaking in the thriving metropolis where you are?
Listening to the dregs of 3916 and just sitting around. That's about it. Someday I've got to get some information from you about audible devices for tuning up SWR meters and so forth. It's rather amazing. I've been using the same box since, well, 1976. You probably weren't born then, over.
That was 2 years before I came out. The world was changed forever by my entrance. Yeah. That you're using one of those Carl Conway bridges, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was way back. But that's what I have, and it works. And several times I've, of course, changed batteries, taken it apart. You know, all kinds of maintenance, over.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you, I would not let anybody pry it out of your cold, dead hands, because they don't make audible tuning stuff anymore. You cannot find it, and this has been like multiple Google searches until I finally found this, which led me to a website, which I just called the number on the website, and you know, some fella out in, let's see, 650 out in California named Mike Keithley, who makes this stuff or made this stuff. So if there were enough of us around, this could be like a black market among the blind hams. There is so little of it left anymore.
Right. Well, that's something we need to keep in touch about. Eventually I'd like to get a backup. I mean, my God, I've been using this for 46 years. Let's get real. So anyway, that's one of those mysteries. Yeah, it's like Little Abner. What's the guy with the cloud over his head? That's the cloud waiting to hit, over.
Roger, you're absolutely right. It is kind of one of those little mysteries that that are going on. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of thinking, you know, I need to get something in case my TW1 decides to go bye-bye, because much boat anchor stuff I got in here, if that happens, I am done.
What's a TW1?
Well, a TW1 is what LDG made it a long time ago, and then they made it again in the 90s. But it is a talking watt meter that also produces a tone that will let you hear. It'll give you forward, reflected, and SWR using a tone. And so you can tune up your amp and monitor everything else via the pitch that you hear. And it works pretty well. You know, it works really well. I certainly have no issues with it. But this thing, I've had this thing for, oh Lord, years, and it was in a box that got moved and has kind of been absconded in a move, and I don't think I've seen this thing in 3 or 4 years, and finally pulled it out. You know, once I started getting back into radio, moving over here at this QTH. They're over.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, you've got my email, so you send me any information you see about that kind of stuff, because obviously I need to pay attention. So, you know, the Carl Conway device gives me power, SWR, it's all relative, it's not exact, which is not too bad. Obviously it works. Over.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it obviously works, you're right. And it's, you know, I don't know how accurate this TW1 is, but, well, I ain't blowed anything up yet. Yeah, definitely happy to get this over to you via email. I'm really interested to find out literature on that Carl Conway device. I'm curious, and I'm guessing it doesn't tell you. You do not hear the dip in your plate current when you're tuning, right?
Alright, it hasn't blowed anything out. I'm not from Texas, so you don't have to talk pidgin English to me. No, this thing I got back in 76. Were you born yet? There was no TCP/IP. I don't think you're going to find any info about it. But if you do, let me know, over.
Sure, I'm more than happy to let you know, because I'd like to know myself. I'm, you know, just kind of on the quest here. But yeah, more than happy to send you something and let you know what I find out, because it is kind of one of these interesting, it's like going after, I don't know, something in some Indiana Jones film. It's like there's, you know, the information is passed along orally, but trying to find any kind of written documentation has just been, it's been a challenge.
Alright. I don't know anything about Indiana Jones movies. And the Carl Conway stuff back then, if you can find any documentation at all, I think that'd be a miracle. In any event, that's the way that was. Over.
Yep, roger that. No, I completely understand. No, I don't know anything about an Indiana Jones movie either. It just, I've heard about the whole, you know, the lost treasure, the lost this, but it's, you know, this is definitely hard stuff to find. Again, I did talk to a guy tonight, and he did say that you can take, there's something about, in an amplifier, if it has a center tap on the transformer, you can put a 1 ohm resistor and put some kind of a voltage control oscillator in line and be able to measure things, be able to detect the dip and the grid and the plate current and so on and so forth. So this is all remains to be seen if it is in fact true. But yeah, I will go ahead and send you an email with some of the stuff once I can verify the authenticity of what I've been told.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that. Remember, all hams are experts. Just send me the emails. I'll check it out. Blind appliances are, it's not like they're a Walgreens over.
No, they're not a Walgreens. You're right. And they also, cost a whole lot more. But they are there if you can get to them. And there are a lot of modifications you can do, like, I won't buy, my computer is digital. Every other appliance, I try to keep analog.
Whoops, there was a strange beep. Yeah, I've got a computer, big deal. I don't do much with it. I used to make a living on the box. Not this box, but over.
Yeah, you were playing with, like old 3270 IBM mainframes, right?
360s and so forth. However, I retired at DPS, 2007. So they had already invented TCP/IP, so I could do a lot of work from home.
Oh, yeah. TCP/IP, absolutely. And now, it's amazing how it has evolved. So, yeah, I completely understand. Now, I work from home now, too, and it's a blessing and a curse. In one respect, I don't get to get into the office like I would like. In another respect, hey, it's a 10-second commute.
I'd say you have nothing to complain about. I was on call 24/7, and before TCP/IP, I'd have to call a cab and go downtown. In the middle of the night, over.
Oh, yeah, I had to do that, too, for the previous job before I worked for the people I work for now. If something went down, and if there was an internet outage at my house at night, because I used to work nights, I would have to call a cab, and yeah, that was about as fun as running your nails across a chalkboard, because it would be ridiculously expensive to get into work. So I can relate.
I'm not complaining. There's a reason why I could afford to retire at the age of 54 years and 8 months, over.
Roger that. Well, it sounds like you've done pretty well even after the fact. Nothing wrong with that. Go ahead.
Well, anyway. Doesn't matter so much. I mean, I did data security. Well, I don't want to go into it. It doesn't matter too much. But when you're toast, it's time to get out.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm kind of looking around, and I've always said that I'll stay where I am as long as I can be effective. And I'm in a position now where I'm kind of seeing if I can find a little something better.
love the people I work for, love the people I work with. But if something better came along, I would not complain in the least.
Well, you're not a programmer. But a good programmer, we used to have a saying, a good programmer always has a up-to-date resume. Over.
That is absolutely true. And no, I'm not a programmer, but I do now a whole lot more QA type stuff. I'm assuming you're familiar with gray box and black box testing, right?
No.
So I take the program you write, and I write test plans and set up test cases for it to find out where there might be bugs, and to make sure, that that the difference between the actual and expected results of a program are consistent.
Great. Programmers write code. And then I became a project manager, and it goes on forever. You don't need to know my resume. But good luck with that, over.
Yeah. No, I've done some project management before. I have done some of that, and yeah. God bless all of you coders, man. It's a good thing I'm not one of them, or that nobody would expect my code to be to the point, or that anybody would rely on it to do something that required, I will use the unscientific term, NASA. Well, it certainly isn't NASA ready. You wouldn't want to fly a plane with the code I write, because you'd end up crashing the thing.
All right. Well, I must be on my merry way. See you around, WB5TXW.
Roger. Have fun. Keep your eyes open. Be well. Do good work. And keep in touch. AI 5OS.